Hello everyone. So in the last class I was explained about the carbohydrates. So today let us know about proteins. So first of all, introduction to proteins. So proteins are the complex organic nitrogenous compounds whose building blocks are amino acids. So proteins are made up of a number of smaller units, that is calling as amino acids. So here firstly the proteins was discovered by a Dutch chemist G. Johannes Mulder in 1837. So the name protein was given by Berzelius in 1838. So it is derived from the Greek word. So protein is derived from the Greek word protino, that means primary or first. So the name is justified because nearly half of the dry weight of an organism is formed of protein. So the proteins are the complex organic compounds, are made up of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen and usually sulfur. And some contains even phosphorus and iron also. And average content of protein is around 16%. So the body is dependent almost entirely upon proteins for its supply of nitrogen, sulfur and phosphorus. So here protein is very important. So it is a complex biomacromolecule. So it is a building block of amino acids. So proteins are made up of the number of smaller unit, that is calling as amino acids. So the protein in food, it is constituents of meat, cheese, eggs, milk, peas, beans, etc. are the rich sources of proteins. So this is about the introduction to proteins. So now let us know about the proteins. So here proteins is a naturally occurring extremely complex substance that consists of amino acids residues joined by peptide bonds. So amino acids are there are more than 300 amino acids in the nature. So more than 300 amino acids. So out of these 300, so only 20 amino acids are occur in protein. So 20 amino acids. So these amino acids are called standard or primary amino acids. Recently, 2 more amino acids have been introduced. So thus there are 22 amino acids which forming proteins. So in the amino acids, are classified as majorly 2 groups: essential amino acids and non-essential amino acids. So essential amino acids means they are essential for growth and development. So they are essential for growth and development, but they cannot be synthesized in the body. So the essential amino acids are essential for growth and development but cannot be synthesized in the body. Hence they have to be supplemented through the diet. So ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಈ ಅಮೈನೋ ಆಸಿಡ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಸಿಂಥಸೈಸ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು, ಅವು ಸಿಗಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಫುಡ್ಡಿಂದ ಬಂದುಬಿಟ್ಟು ತೊಗೊತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಹೆನ್ಸ್ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಎಸೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಅಮೈನೋ ಆಸಿಡ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲಿನ್, ಲೈಸಿನ್, ಲ್ಯೂಸಿನ್, ಮಿಥಿಯೋನೈನ್, so etc. So these are the examples for essential amino acids. So next one is non-essential amino acids. So they are synthesized by the body. Hence, they need not to be consumed in the diet. So ಇದು ಬಾಡಿಯಲ್ಲೇ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇವು ಸಿಂಥಸೈಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ನಾನ್ ಎಸೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಅಮೈನೋ ಆಸಿಡ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಅಲನೈನ್, ಆರ್ಜಿನೈನ್, aspartic acid, glutamic acid, etc. So here classification of amino acids, they are two type, essential and non-essential amino acid. So these amino acid is represented, these amino acids are represented by the general formula. So here you can see the general formula. So in this one end that contains amino group and another end that contains carboxyl group. So amino acids have basic amine group, that is NH2, and an acidic carboxylic group, that is COOH. So the amino acids obtained by the hydrolysis of proteins, they may be classified as follows. So monocarboxylic acids. So this is first one. So here the name itself suggests that here presence of only single one is amine group and one is a carboxylic acid group. So hence it is neutral. So here having one acidic and one amine group. So hence monoamino and monocarboxylic acids. So single amino group and single carboxylic acid group. So one acidic group and one amine group. So having one acidic and one amine group in this. So examples: glycine, alanine, serine, valine, leucine, etc. So next, the second one is monoamino dicarboxylic acid. So here single amine group, but it contains additional carboxylic group. So that means 2 carboxylic acid. So hence it is acidic. So monoamino and dicarboxylic acid. So it contains or having an additional carboxylic group. So for example, aspartic acid and glutamic acid. So third one is diamino monocarboxylic acid. So it is base, here presence of diamine group and one is carboxylic acid group. So here having an additional amino group. So example, arginine and lysine. The next is sulfur containing amine group. So here having a sulfur. So sulfur group which is present beside the amine and carboxylic groups. So example, cysteine and methionine. Then next one is fifth one, aromatic and heterocyclic amino acids. So aromatic and heterocyclic, here having aromatic and heterocyclic group in the side chain of the amino acid. So for example, phenylalanine, tyrosine, histidine, proline, etc. So these are the classification which is obtained by the hydrolysis of proteins. So here amino acids are obtained by the hydrolysis of proteins. So hence based on that this classification takes place. So next is bonding of amino acid. So here amino acids are the monomers of proteins. So monomers means a molecule that can be bonded to the identical molecules to form polymers. So here amino acids are the monomers of proteins. So they have a basic amino group and an acidic carboxylic group. So presence of basic amino group and an acidic carboxylic group, hence they can act either as a weak acid or as a weak base. So such substances that is calling as amphoteric, because here they act either as a weak acid or as a weak base, so that amphoteric in nature. So amino acids are linked together by peptide bond or amide bond. So the bond occurs between the carboxylic group of one amino acid and the amino group of the other amino acid with the elimination of a water molecule. So bond occur between a carboxylic group of one amino acid and amine group of other amino acid with the elimination of water molecule. So the peptide bonds are quite strong and are generally broken by the heating with a strong acid or alkali. So let us know about the peptides. So the compounds formed by the condensation of amino acids are known as peptides. So the group that is CO and NH, so carboxyl and amine group joining the amino acid residues is known as the peptide bond. So here the two amino acids are joined in condensation. The product is known as a dipeptide. So two amino acids, so joining of two amino acid by the condensation process, so product is a dipeptide. Similarly, three or more amino acids, so three or more, so when the three amino acids are joined in condensation, the product that is known as a tripeptide. If more than three, so if more than three amino acids linked or joined in condensation, so product is polypeptide. So here peptide, dipeptide and tri and polypeptides. So these proteins are regarded as a very elaborate polypeptides consisting of a large number of amino acid residues. So poly means many. So here these polypeptides are consist of large number of amino acid residues. So the particle size of the protein is very large and hence they have a very high molecular weight. So it should be clear that at one end of the long polypeptide chain forming the protein molecules, there is an amino acid residue with a free amino group, and at the other end an amino acid residue with a free carboxyl group. So these are called the end groups. Okay, so in the one end, that is for free end, that contains amino group, and the other end free end that contains carboxyl group. So these are called the end groups. So thank you.